Hey, how's it going?
There's a couple people on here waiting, so that's cool. Thanks for waiting for us.
Yeah, thanks.
Sorry it wasn't morning.
You were busy this morning.
I'm always busy.
You had to go into town, and yeah, usually we do our lives in the morning, but things always get a little crazy if we do our lives at night, so I don't know what's going to happen.
I haven't had enough caffeine, so I should be good.
I did not get enough caffeine before we started.
Sorry. Your water's over there.
Yeah.
So, we're here to talk about a lot of things.
Oh my goodness.
There's a lot of questions about the Lavacrete.
Yes, you guys have had some really great questions about Lavacrete, and because we put out that video a couple of days ago, I don't even remember. It was earlier this week, and so lots of people have so many questions because it's such like a sort of new technology that not a lot of people know about, and so yeah, so we have a lot of good things to go ahead and talk about, but as always, if you have questions, leave them here in the live chat, and we'll do our best to answer them. It just might take us a little while to get to them because we kind of have to talk and then look at our phones and see that it's a whole like back and forth.
We need another person to read the questions.
I know we don't have a whole team, unfortunately, but that's okay. We'll make it work. So yeah, I mean, I think the big thing that we're talking about here is the Lavacrete Utility Lodge.
Mm-hmm.
That workshop is in about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And we have been just furiously working here trying to get the foundation ready for that build. And so we'll talk a little bit about that.
Yeah.
Talk about our progress so far. And then, yeah, just like what it's like to build with Lavacrete, what you can do with it, what you can't do with it, all that stuff. But I guess before we get into that, our meet and greet is this coming weekend.
Oh, yeah. Well, I keep forgetting about the meet and greet because we're so focused on this build and getting ready for that we forgot. We do have a meet and greet Saturday.
We do. We have a homestead tour.
There's
right
20
here.
people coming so far.
Mm-hmm.
We still have a few spots left if anybody wants to join.
Yeah.
I may have to go get some more food if so, but that's fine.
It's
I
okay.
can do that.
We can make it work.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a whole day. You show up in the morning and we go look at all the different builds that we've worked on, and then
answer a million questions.
We answer all the questions. We eat a delicious lunch, and then we get a little nerdy in the afternoon. We like talk about solar systems and berms and swales and water pumps and all that kind of stuff. And then we come to the bench, which is where we are here, and we just answer questions for the rest of the afternoon.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Is there any
Good
chance
times.
I could get this other bench finished before that?
Probably
before
not.
This weekend?
Probably not. No.
It would be nice if I could.
Maybe
it's kind of rough.
Maybe we can convince Eric to come to the Lavacrete workshop early and help you finish
I
it.
need to pay him to do it. I just don't have time.
I know.
Okay, so
anyway, that's coming up. So
meet and greet Saturday.
Meet and greet Saturday. All this stuff you can just go to tinyshinyhome.com/events if you want to sign up for it.
Yeah.
And yeah, the homestead tour, that's happening this weekend.
I'm getting hot. It's a little warm out here.
It's gonna cool down soon.
I know, that's why I brought it. Well,
it's gonna cool down soon.
All right, should we jump into questions from like all the people that have asked a million questions?
Yeah, let's talk about Lavacrete. So, for a quick primer, if you're new or you haven't seen the video, you're like, what the heck is Lavacrete, or you forgot. So there's this building style that it's been happening here in Tucson for like 30 years. And so there's an architect named Paul Schwamm that has been really pushing this technology forward for a long time. He's even built like custom mixers and like I saw this crazy mixing machine that he's been building for the last couple of decades to help builds go faster. And then our friend Guru Das, who we were just on the phone with trying to get ready for the workshop, because he's doing the actual workshop. He's like teaching everybody. He's got his company Awareness Ranch. They are like currently they're a contracting company, and so they're building residential and commercial structures, not just Lavacrete. They're also doing straw bale and what else?
I think they work a little
Adobe
bit with
and
hemp, maybe
some hemp stuff. And so they're doing a lot of natural builds, but they're all like permitted and like code compliant. So they're kind of on the more legit side of what we're doing here in Cochise County, because they have clients and they have to actually get it approved and go through testing and all that stuff.
But it's such a unique way to build. We need to get the word out more. So that's why we're recording this workshop to hopefully, get the word out that this is a really great way to build out here.
Sure. And so, I mean, Lavacrete is basically you have lava sand. Sometimes it's called cinder sand or scoria sand. And then you add a binder to it, and that can be Portland cement or lime. And
or a mixture of the both.
Or a mixture of both. And then you just add water. And that's it.
And it's a very light tamp. So you probably saw us like tamping these earth bags, and it was like a 20-pound tamp over and over several times. And with the Lavacrete, you literally have like a 2x4 or a little 2x2 metal piece with a piece of rebar welded to it, and you just lightly tamp it.
Right. And
it's no like hard pressure.
Right, and that's by design. So what you're doing is you're taking the sort of the porosity of the volcanic material, you're coating it, each little shard, with binder and water, and then you press it together, but you don't smash it. What you want to do is just kind of start gluing all those little pieces together and leave even more little air pockets in between it, so that you get a better R value. And also you use less material, it's lighter, it's easier to work with, you don't have to tamp as hard. And yeah, it's a really cool way to build. And I think the biggest thing, which we are super excited about, is you put this material in a form, and then when you take that form off, the wall is done. And it's beautiful. And it like that's the thing. Like, it's not just that it's like, oh, it looks like a block wall. Like, it is, it's gorgeous. Like, you can change the colors as you fill it. You can do whatever design, wave pattern you want. And so you get this really like natural and beautiful and sort of organic texture on the wall and coloring. And it's just like, it's weatherproof and it's good to go. And you don't really have to do much else to it.
I'm pretty excited.
Which is pretty sweet. Yeah. So it saves you a lot of time on your finishing work. The big question for us and why we're doing this is like, it is cost effective, but how cost effective is it? I can tell you right now, it's more expensive than earth bags.
Do you think?
Yeah, for sure. Because you think about the amount of material we brought in for earth bags versus the material we're bringing in for the lava. Like, the lava sand is more expensive than just AB mix, but
if you're not counting all the plaster that has to go into that,
exactly,
so it might be pretty similar, honestly, because if you're going to spend a lot of money on the finishing work of plaster, it might be relatively.
So those are the things where we want to actually do this in person, hands-on. We want to buy all these materials through this workshop and like figure out what the actual costs are. So
we should do an exact same size build in Hyper-Adobe and then see, compare them,
Yeah.
If
maybe.
we only had time.
Yeah. I would like to focus on the house.
I would like to live in a
then
house.
We'll build a bunch of random Hyper-Adobe buildings later. Yeah. So anyway, that's the basics of Lavacrete. Like I said, it is engineerable. You can make it code compliant. You work within the Adobe code, at least here in Arizona. You can use the sort of the parameters of Adobe. Lavacrete is I think it's better in some ways than Adobe technically, but just to be conservative, that is how Guru Das and Paul Schramm in the past have like pushed it through to get things. They're like, well, it's got about this R value, it's got about this compressive strength, even though it might be slightly better. It's just easier for them than to have to do like a ton of extra testing and
which they are doing.
I mean, they're still doing tests and stuff, but like, yeah, it's just a little easier for people to sort of grasp and understand in that engineering and architectural world. If you can be like, oh, it's like Adobe, and they're like, oh, I understand that, because they've probably worked with that before. So anyway,
that was
a really long, quick overview of whether this works. Yes.
Okay.
So let's look at the most frequently asked questions from
our last video.
Where's your notes at? Here we go. Okay, so probably the biggest, the most, how do I say this? Probably the thing most people said were, what about hempcrete? Even though we were talking about Lavacrete, which, like, I like to get sidetracked too, but let's talk real quick about the differences between hempcrete and Lavacrete. You've had more personal experience.
I mean, I don't know a ton because I've only gone to a couple workshops, but hemp is hempcrete is usually an infill product, so you'd have like a framed wall and, you know, fill it in, or you can make blocks out of them and mortar them together.
Right.
But it still needs
it's
other
not.
things.
I think the biggest thing is it is not structural. The PSI of hempcrete, because I had to look this up today because someone was like telling me that you could build walls out of the same way you do Lavacrete, but not really. Like there might be a few people that are experimenting with that, but for the most part, hempcrete has like a super low PSI compressive strength. I think it was like 145 PSI. So you can have walls, but they're not going to be load bearing, right? So with Lavacrete, you get closer to 2,000 PSI. It's not as strong as concrete, which is closer to 4,000. It's somewhere in between, but it's still strong enough to support a wall and to support a roof. So anyway, they're very different, I guess is what we're saying. Like obviously hempcrete has a ton of benefits. I think it's more insulative. It's a lot more insulative than Lavacrete, but it is not structural, and so you have to.
It's more expensive too.
It's more expensive, and you got to build stuff around it so that it can support a roof. So,
but there's still really cool things being done with hempcrete, and it definitely has its place in the natural building world.
Yeah, for sure.
Like there's a lot of cool people up in Tucson that are doing natural building with it, like Michaela at Old Pueblo. But anyway,
also it needs to be finished and plastered.
Well, I don't think the inside has to be.
Well, I'm saying if people are thinking it's like an exterior wall,
the exterior would have to be plastered for sure.
Yeah.
Now we are going to hopefully do some experiments in our house in some of the framed walls with hempcrete. That's my goal.
As an infill, though.
Yeah, and it's in the framed walls of what divides all the rooms. So hopefully we can do that. I just want to have like a bunch of different natural materials that we experiment with in the house, and that gives other people a chance to also use that material. Like if they want to come and learn about the hempcrete when we do those walls, that's great. Let's figure that out.
Yeah, and so in the same vein, I think rammed earth came up a lot in the conversation because Lavacrete and rammed earth are very similar in a lot of ways. You put them in a form, you mix natural materials, you compress them.
But the rammed earth
there's some key differences, right? And so Lavacrete is more insulated because of that porous material and because you're not smashing it down and compacting it so much. I mean, that's the other big thing. It's way less labor. You don't rammed earth, you really have to compact.
And typically
it's
even
heavier.
A machine has to help compact that. I mean, you can do it by hand, but like typically
if you're looking at like engineered rammed earth walls, they have rebar in them. They are mechanically compacted, right?
Yeah.
And so again, like rammed earth is great. It's gorgeous, but it is not. It's a little bit less insulative. It's a little more work. It's heavier, so it's more material to move. But they're both great. But like just so you know, like those are sort of the differences between them, right? Like both have their place. I even saw a house that Paul had designed that had Lavacrete columns that started Lavacrete and then rammed earth the rest of the way up.
That's cool.
And it was having that kind of like purpley gray and then like the tan and everything. Like it was really pretty. It was gorgeous. Yeah. So yeah, like, obviously we have researched and even have hands-on experience with some of these other things. The cool thing about Lavacrete is just that not a lot of people are talking about it. It's like it's kind of a little bit of a new technology. I mean, it's not new, but it's new in the sense that there's not a lot of information about it. What are you looking at?
Sorry, the goats were just screaming and Trona was running over there, so I just wanted to make sure everybody was okay.
Yeah, we have new baby goats, by the way. We'll talk about that in a minute. What else? Okay, a couple other questions people had. Immediately people were like, well, can you put this Lavacrete mixture inside earth bags? I would say probably not. It wouldn't really make much sense because, again, one of the huge benefits of Lavacrete is that you don't have to finish it. And so if you put it inside earth bags,
then you have the plaster.
You would have to replaster it and finish it. And I just don't think the mix...
It's not meant for that. Like, it keys into the next layer. You don't want any separation.
Right.
in between those.
I don't think it would go through the bucket well. I think it would fall out of the holes in the hyper-adobe, to be honest.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
that's not what it's for.
Yeah, and in that same vein, plaster. A lot of people are like, well, can you plaster with Lavacrete? And I think we were talking to Guru Das about this. He said sort of the minimum thickness he has ever used Lavacrete on is about 4 inches. But even if you did that sort of like thick layer around your building, you'd have to build forms for all of it.
You'd have to have a way for it to mechanically connect to that wall, so you'd be pounding in rebar
into the earth bags,
and then running rebar horizontally to connect to what was pushed into the.
You'd have a small fortune in formwork and in rebar for this much sort of wall, and I don't know. That seems like a lot of work and a lot of expense. But it's not meant to be like thinly set on something. He said when it's too thin, all the little granules and shards, they dry out too quickly and they don't bond to each other. Like they need time to bond and to cure to each other. And if they're too thin, it dries out too quick. So yeah, it's a wall building material. That's kind of its purpose. And again, like everybody's like, well, can you do floors out of it? Can you do foundations? Can you do is it good in cold climates? What about rainy climates? So let's talk about that for a minute. The thing that I kept responding to in the comments for people is like, natural building has to take into account your climate, right? And so there are going to be things in your climate that traditional builders are doing to protect against those elements, whether it be a lot of rain or humidity or extreme cold.
I think the part of natural building too is like it is based on your climate. So if you live somewhere really cold, you should probably be building with straw bale, maybe something more insulative. But it's all, you kind of want to like use what's in your area.
Sure, it definitely should be local, but some people live in cold areas that also have lava sand. So So the thing to think about is that this, at least from the interviews we've had and the conversations we had, it's very engineerable, right? So, for example, let's say you live in a really cold climate. You get about 1 R per inch of Lavacrete. Well, you would just build thicker Lavacrete walls to get more R value. You can also put insulation inside of the formwork, and you can put your Lavacrete on the other side, and you can increase your R value by maybe 5 or 10. There is a rammed earth wall system called Firewall that does this, and it's already got the foam inside of it, and they're doing like crazy high-end commercial rammed earth walls, and that's the same idea, right? If you're worried about seismic activity, you just engineer it with more rebar. You use bigger rebar. You put the grid tighter together. Like, you can engineer it however you want. And another big thing about like natural building is if you were worried about rain destroying your walls, you just build bigger overhangs, to protect it from those rains when they come down. And you will see that most like Adobe or rammed earth or Lavacrete, like all those buildings usually have very large overhang porches to protect those walls on purpose.
Another thing too is like if you live near salt water, like near the ocean or the coast, then you want to use a different kind of rebar, either fiberglass or hemp or
there's a basalt one too.
Yeah, basalt. Yeah.
Somebody in the comments was saying that this building material was kind of used, I think in the UK, it was overseas, but a bunch of the buildings had failed because they put steel rebar in them, and the rebar rusted out, and it ended up failing. So yeah, that's definitely another thing to keep in mind is, if you got to engineer it for your climate, right? Now, if you're in a situation where your temperatures get really, 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 really cold, maybe Lavacrete's not going to be that great because you're only going to be able to get so much R value out of the thickness of that wall. I mean, 24 inches is a lot of wall. I don't think you'd be going much thicker than that. But yeah, I think for most sort of normal climates, you can easily engineer this for whatever you kind of want your building to be made for. Yeah. Got a kid. Let's see what else. We talked about high humidity, rain and cold, earthquakes, insulation. Oh, another thing that Paul talked to us about is that insulation barrier. Sometimes they also use that as a water vapor barrier. And so the thing about the porosity of the material is that it's really good for insulation, but it does mean that if it's constantly being soaked by rain, it could eventually make its way through. I mean, in a 12, 16, 24-inch wall, I feel like that would be incredibly difficult. But some of the engineers have asked him to put a barrier in there, and you get a little more insulation, so that if the water ever does try to infiltrate through, it'll hit that and it'll just flow down and go out. So just something to nerd out about if you want.
We'll be going over a lot of this too in the workshop.
People asked if you can 3D print with it. I would say probably not, because it's a very dry mix. It's not going to flow
and
out of it.
And it needs to be pressed.
And it needs to be compressed. It's not a flowable concrete mix. It's very, very different than that. The funny thing is that there is a product called Lavacrete that is made by a 3D printing company that has nothing to do with lava material. It's some sort of like plaster coating that they've decided to name Lavacrete. And so I think that's where some people are getting confused about plastering, because they think it's the same thing and it's not. I don't think it, and I don't think it has natural materials in it. I think it's definitely more of like a, oh no, don't do it. Okay. Anyway, it's not Lavacrete. It doesn't have lava sand in it. It doesn't have volcanic materials. I don't know why they named it that. It's kind of confusing.
It probably stands for something.
Probably. Kind of like Paul's, what was it, lightweight?
Aggregate.
Vertical application? Or
something like that.
Something like that. Yeah. Oh, and another question. People wanted to know, can you put this underground? Can you make it a basement? I had, somebody asked me today if they could build the back wall of an earth ship with it. And so again, because of the porosity of the material, it's not really good to have it underground.
I mean, you could protect it.
You'd have to do like heavy water intrusion stuff that you would do for any sort of concrete wall, but probably even more so, because once it starts soaking into all those little holes, it's just going to come through. The good thing is it is super mold resistant. It's non-toxic. It's a weird material, so it doesn't really grow mold. It's not a place that mold can really grow on. But I think probably don't use it for underground. And you'll see with the Lavacrete Utility Lodge, the way it's generally spec'd is you build a concrete pad, but you also build a stem wall so that the Lavacrete actually starts above ground level, because you don't really want to run the Lavacrete directly down into the ground, because again, if it rains and it goes down in there, it could kind of get stuck in there and then it could start working its way through. Stuff like that.
A lot of talking.
I'm sorry.
Do you want me to say something?
I think you should.
What's the next question?
The next question is, gosh, that's pretty much
probably nothing I know about.
It was most of the items on our list. You want to talk about the workshop?
I mean, what do you want me to talk about it?
You should just tell them about it.
Okay, the workshop is happening April 6th through 11th. It's going to be really fun. I'm going to cook breakfast and lunch for everybody each day.
Yeah.
We'll hopefully do a couple fun things in a couple evenings. Might do a movie night.
Yeah.
That would be really fun. Possibility of night yoga.
That'd be fun.
We'll get to hang out with baby goats.
Yeah.
We're going to do some bottle brick work with this build, so that's something else that you'll get to have hands-on experience with.
Yeah. One thing that I didn't really talk about was, most of the examples that I saw during our early research of Lavacrete were all pretty rectangular, right? And so the more that I got into, and I found a lot of these examples like right near the end of editing the video, so I didn't get to include a lot of them, but Paul has done some really crazy, wacky, cool, experimental stuff with Lavacrete.
Super cool.
Just these walls that are all these different sizes, all kinds of like relief work, like relief and embossing. Honestly, he's done both of those things. And so the way to kind of think about Lavacrete is it's like a self-supporting sandcastle. So as long as you have whatever form you make. You don't have to make it boxy. You can make it circular. You can have like things cut out of it. You can have it be like an embossing printing thing. And if you put the material into that and you lightly compress it and you let it cure and you pull those forms off, it will stay exactly in that shape. And so even though we're only a couple of weeks away from the workshop, we're like racking our brains now. We're like,
I think we have some good ideas.
like, what can we do on this building that's like cool and like not just a square,
Yeah.
and has some like three-dimensional elements. Anyway,
I have some ideas.
it's a really like it's a very like playful kind of architecture.
It is like sandcastle work. Like if
Yeah.
you think about all the, molds that you would take to the beach when we
Sure.
were kids,
Yeah.
like that's what you're doing.
Uh-huh.
You're creating this really cool mold to
Yeah.
put the sand in.
Yeah, it's really neat. I'm really excited about it. Like,
I kind of wish we had done that with our house.
what can you imagine the forms?
Well, the form work
Oh
would have
my
been a
gosh.
nightmare,
Yeah. I
but
don't-
just the fact of like not plastering and it being more insulative, like I wish I had known about it sooner.
Yeah, I think so. So that's why we're making this video. That's why we're doing this workshop, is because it was something we stumbled on. And like we said, there's like not hardly anything on the internet about it.
But there's so much other cool stuff you can do with it. Like even if you have access to only like a truckload of the material, you could make planters out of it. Fire
Beautiful
pits.
planters, benches, there's garden beds.
You could probably even do. You'd have to get creative, but I think you could even do a pizza oven out of it, like that. Because if you can do a fireplace out of it,
Yeah,
you can do a pizza
Gyarados
oven.
makes actual whole fireplaces out of the material, and they're just like, that's the material.
Maybe we'll
Yeah.
get our walls up so fast that we'll have to make a pizza oven.
Maybe that could be cool.
That would
The
be
world's
really cool.
first Lavacrete pizza oven.
That was probably not the first one.
Well,
but
maybe not. All right. So we're gonna look at some questions, and we're gonna try to answer them. Let's see.
this cat is the sweetest guy.
So yeah, people asking about, can you do it in a cold climate? Sure, you can totally do it in a cold climate. Again, you would just want to build walls thicker, maybe put some insulation in the middle of it. And I think, like we've talked about before with the roundhouse, you want to have a good boots and hat, right? You want to have good insulation. Did I do it backwards?
Yeah, you always do it back.
Boots and hat. You want to have good insulation in your ceiling so you don't lose or gain too much heat. You want to have good insulation in the floor so you don't lose the heat during the winter when it's cold. So yeah, those are things to think about. Let's see. So somebody said, is Lavacrete waterproof? Could you use it for a swimming pool? So no, unfortunately, it's way too porous. I mean, it would look super
It would
cool.
be beautiful. I bet you could do some kind of like an epoxy seal on it.
Yeah, and I mean, like we have talked to Paul a little bit, and sometimes they will actually seal the whole outside and waterproof it. But
Seems like a lot of extra
it's
work.
a lot of extra work. It's it's not the most natural thing. But I don't know. I don't know.
It would be beautiful though.
It would be really cool, but it would be tough because you'd have water inside all those walls.
What if you did a Lavacrete exterior and you drop in this massive glass pool?
Ooh, that would be cool.
Because then you could see it, but it looks like it's just Lavacrete.
Yeah.
That would be amazing. Like
would be sweet.
the thick glass that they make like aquariums out of and stuff. That would be cool. Ow.
Someone said, have you ever considered using tires like they do in earthships? Not really. I am very appreciative of the idea of sort of, taking things that are considered landfill waste and trying to reuse them. We try to redo that with a lot of different things. I just don't like the idea of tires being inside the place that I live.
Or inside the earth. They're always going to be leaching something.
Right.
And
They're not inert, unfortunately, and so that's just why we've stayed away from them. We have heard of lots of people laying hyper adobe earth bags as a back wall for
less
earth
labor.
ships.
It's way less labor than
Right, it's a lot
pounding a
easier than
tire.
pounding tires. Yeah, but like I get the idea of trying to use those tires in a sustainable way. Totally,
Yeah.
just not something that we really want to do.
I do appreciate it.
Yeah. Can Lavacrete be used for flooring? I think it could be, and I know Paul has talked about designing even floor and ceiling roofing Lavacrete material, which I'm still confused on how that works. But like, I think again, it's really porous, right? And so unless you seal that thing, um, you're gonna have trouble cleaning it. You're gonna have trouble with spills going down into it.
Was he saying the roof or the ceiling?
Like the whole thing, like one big monolithic thing.
But how would it be?
I think rebar.
No, how would it be protected from rain?
Oh, you'd have to seal the outside for sure. Yeah.
We'll ask him about that when he comes.
Yeah, we have lots of questions for Paul when he gets here. Yeah, he's going to be here a couple of days during the workshop.
We should see if we could get together with him and Guru before the workshop.
Yeah. Let's see, what else we got? Protective clear coating. Yeah, I don't remember exactly what the sealer is, but there is some sort of sealer you can add to the outside that will help waterproof it. Can Lavacrete be put into smaller forms to create blocks for further use, like interconnected blocks that allow rebars to run through them? I mean, I would say yes, you could build those blocks, but you're making way more work for yourself. One of the benefits of the Lavacrete and the way it glues together is that there's no masonry joints or seams, and the rebar is creating all that tensile strength.
Okay, here's my question on that.
Yeah.
Because I've heard some people say, well, I see the masonry joints. I don't think it's masonry joints. What you're seeing is the different color of the layers interlocking together.
Well, you're seeing where the forms, because you do it in 24-inch lifts. So every time you have a new form, that plywood isn't going to perfectly line up. So you're just seeing like a little...
But isn't a masonry joint when you use a mortar of some sort?
Right. So you have like a block and a
mortar
and then blocks and like, yeah. So...
But that is what you would say a masonry joint is.
Right.
There's like...
yeah, so there's there's people that they don't understand how it glues itself to it, and they see those tiny, and they're exterior imperfections, but from the formwork, because you're not building a 20-foot by 20-foot piece of plywood, like you can't get that, right? So you're having to build it out all these little pieces, and so you end up with these tiny little bits that might come through the formwork where the plywood doesn't like butt up perfectly against
and
it.
You wouldn't be able to put like, a really tall piece of plywood, because you need to be able to tamp in there. So like a 2-foot form is like the perfect size. We just happen to have all of our plywood already cut to 16 inches.
From the bonding on the house, yeah.
So we're doing 16-inch lifts instead of 2-foot. But if you were to do, a 2-foot by 8-foot piece of plywood, it'd be real easy to make your form work.
Yeah, so I would say, can you make blocks out of them? Sure. But I would also say that you're going to create more work from yourself and lose some of the benefit of sort of that monolithic pour as you put it together. That's my opinion.
Yeah. I think it's just so beautiful too. Like, it's incredible what you can create by...
You lose that aesthetic.
Well, by like just the different color of material. You can tint the material if you wanted to. We have black and red sand, so we're going to be doing it in very distinct layers, but like in shapes. Like, it's not going to be like straight layer.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be really cool. Oh, there's another one.
Hi, buddy. Someone said dry mix is a common practice. Tilers use it to build up a floor.
It's kind of like when you dry pack under a shower or something.
Yeah.
It's kind of similar, but that material is like a much finer sand.
And you're compacting it more.
Well, it's not like super compact. It's like hand tamped with like a trowel.
Right.
It's not, but it is a little bit more compressed.
It's less porous than Lavacrete.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's just a much finer sand.
Let's see. Can you talk about the foundation, materials tying to the walls, etc.?
Okay. Can I talk about that?
Sure. Go for it.
We actually just had our pad poured for this yesterday. So, they had the formwork up, all the rebars in the footer and the stem wall and the floor. And then they also added vertical rebar on a 4-foot grid. So that's how we have all the 4-foot grid vertically, and then we're going to be tying in horizontal rebar as we build up, like every 2 to 4 feet. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's a 4x4 grid, so every
4x4
4
grid.
foot.
But you also go around your windows, and it's doubled up around the door. So instead of just one, there's 2 rebars that go up.
So that's how it's all connected to the stem wall.
Right. And then, so we had to like raise and level and compact the area, then dig it out so that you have enough of a footer for 3 pieces of rebar down in the footer, and then a whole other grid of rebar for the actual concrete pad. It was a pretty complicated pour.
Yeah.
They were a little annoyed with us. Yeah.
Poor Alfredo. He was so mad about all of it. But he was like,
well, on top of it, there's like how many pipes going in sticking up?
So many.
There's
There's
the toilet, the sink, the shower, the vent, the overflow drain. That's just the plumbing.
7, 8, 9, 10. 10 pipes sticking up out of there.
Right. And so that was what we've been working on. So these videos will be coming out over the next couple of weeks. Process of clearing the area, of building up that foundation, and then of digging back out of the compacted AB mix and running to the septic, all the plumbing, and then digging massive trenches into the roundhouse and out multiple walls, and it's going up like it's stubbed and it's like coming back up inside the building, and we're going to tie into those later, but they all have to be coming up through the concrete pad inside the building so that when we have like the solar power system, we have, we can get the power out. When we have water, we can get it in from the water tank and out to the house, and then out to the cactus garden, and then if we get fiber run into it, there's like so many things that we had to deal with. We got it done though.
Yeah.
I was pretty proud of us.
Yeah.
We made it happen.
Yeah. That last pipe
only
was
a few batteries.
that last pipe was
that was tough. It was a tough day, but we made it.
And luckily the tractor had lights so that we could backfill when it was dark.
Let's see.
This cat got drunk all over me.
Yeah, so somebody said I would just make the underground portion part out of concrete for this pour bed. Yes, you should do that.
For what?
Just make your foundation, your stem wall,
Like if it
your
was
footer.
underground?
Just do it all out of concrete and then build the Lavacrete on top of that.
Or are they talking about like if it was underground?
Yeah, they're just saying they wouldn't make the foundation out of Lavacrete.
No.
Yeah.
Don't want to do that.
Nope. Let's see. What else do we have? Lavacrete walls and electrical. Great question. So, because you're building in forms, you can pretty easily add in a box and then run conduit straight up, and then you just pack your Lavacrete material around it. So it's super easy to build that stuff in as you go and make it totally code compliant so you can pull stuff into it later.
Something I was just thinking about, which is really cool, because we already have our plywood cut into 16-inch lifts, we'll be able to put that electrical box just at the top of the first form. And so it's going to be a great height, you know.
Yeah.
So they'll all be the same around.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm pretty excited about
Yeah,
that.
so like I said, the thing that is really interesting, it's so different from what we've been doing with earth bags, is that it's so easy to engineer it to code. Like you can put those electrical boxes in, have easy access to them later. You can, like I said, you can add more rebar, more insulation. You can sort of engineer it to however you want. And so that's pretty cool. Like even if you're just a DIYer and you want to make sure something's spec'd to code, it's not that hard to do it, but it's also really DIY friendly, and you can do a lot of this yourself without having to do any of that testing or pass any of those certifications. Yeah. Let's see. Sorry. Sorry.
We didn't freeze.
Will there be bottle brick windows?
There's going to be bottle bricks inserted into the walls, not windows out of bottle bricks.
Yeah.
You'll just have to be here to see it, or wait for the video.
Yes, there will be lots of videos.
But there will be bottle bricks. Every building that we're going to do, except the containers don't have bottle bricks, which really bothers me. every other building here on the property does have bottle bricks in it. So
Yeah, for
it's
sure.
kind of like a requirement.
Yeah. Let's see. What kind of roof are we going to put on it? We haven't decided yet. We thinking about metal, but we might just do wood.
We might just do wood because it's such a small building.
It's a single pitch roof.
It's also kind of protected away from, like, if there was a fire, like there's nothing around it.
It'll have metal panels on it, so like all of our other buildings, but the actual support system that will go on top of that Lavacrete, and we will be doing a bond beam. I think it'll just be a Lavacrete bond beam on the top.
What do you mean?
For the roof to set onto, so it'll have some extra rebar in the last layer.
Yeah.
But it's pretty easy to mechanically bond to every, because the whole building is all connected. Right?
Yeah, and one way that you could also tie in, like if we decide to do wood, like our beam could be tied in with all thread. So we could switch, we could tie off all thread onto the rebar on that last lift. And that way we can bolt the all thread with the wood sandwiched on the Lavacrete.
Right. There's a lot of options. And like we were just talking to Guru Das about like lintels and headers. You can totally do that with the Lavacrete. You just would put more rebar in the part that goes over top of that opening, and it's pretty self-supporting.
Yeah.
So someone said, can you hang shelves, cabinets, and pictures? Yeah, it's basically like a concrete wall. So you would need to have like a hammer drill and a masonry screw or tapcon.
Yeah.
But yes, you can totally. We're going to be hanging very, 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 very heavy inverters on that wall.
Yeah. Can you guys make sure? Is the wind too bad when we're?
It's probably
doing
pretty
this?
bad. Yeah, we can't really use a mic because then it makes it quieter, and everybody complains about it being too quiet. So sorry, there's just going to be some wind noise.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay.
Let's see. Oh, we got to the end of the questions.
Oh, nice.
Look at us.
That was easy.
So anyway, the Lavacrete workshop, you should totally come. We just opened up daily spots because we know not everybody can come for the whole 6 days, especially for a week and get off work and all that. So you can come daily now. It's here on our property. You can camp here. Like Ashley says, she's going to feed you delicious food. We're all going to hang out. We're going to have a really good time. And I think it's going to be a pretty cool workshop. And what's cool is at the end of the 6 days, we're going to take all those forms off and we're going to get to see the reveal of the building.
My hope is that we have enough plywood to just keep adding lifts and not take anything off until the last day, so that it's like, whoa, because if we can like just add lifts and add lifts, nobody knows what it's going to look like until those forms come off, and that will be like such a cool moment.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening to me.
No, it's going to be a cool moment. I was listening to you.
Okay.
Are we going to show them the lava sand? Because we got the lava sand, guys. It's here.
I was wondering if you wanted to like go do the lava sand and then maybe see baby goats.
Baby goat. Guys,
Yesterday.
We'll talk about the baby goats in a minute.
Yesterday was a very busy day. Okay, so 6:30 in the morning, people started showing up for the concrete pad. And then the lava sand got delivered like right after they were done with the concrete pad. And then we had a cat that had to go to the vet because it got bit by a snake. We think something. It was either a black widow or a snake. We don't know. And then Adelaide texted me at like 4:30. Hey, I think Sorrel's gonna have kids in an hour. And so I went right to the barn and she just pushed them all out.
Like they were already out.
In a minute and a half. 3 kids in 1.5 minutes. Yeah. It's crazy. Never seen that happen before.
Yeah.
So anyway, it was a very eventful day.
Yeah, it was. It was. So, let's go.
You want to see the sand?
Let's go look at the cinder sand.
Of course, Trona
the scoria sand, the lava sand, whatever you want to call it.
I wish the dogs weren't on it.
I'm surprised they're on it.
Is that cloud? That's cloud.
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
Because it's very...
Kind of sharp.
It's sharp. It's not soft like AB Mix. It's not pillowy.
But they like being up high, so maybe we should just bring in another AB Mix pile for them.
No.
Yeah.
No.
They always need a pile to be on. Cloud would be a happy guy.
He would be.
All right, you want to go?
All right, ready?
I've got all these seeds in my shirt from that cut.
Come with us. Join us on a walk. Hold on. All right, here we go. Oh, got some in my shoe. Hold on.
Already. Thorns.
Thorns. Okay.
I also need to get the fire pit done before the workshop so that we can actually like have evening fires over there.
If it's
That would be
if it's
great.
cool enough, yes.
Well, a cool fire.
So there you go. Sneak peek. There's the
Oh.
pad. It's all covered up because it's still drying. Yeah, I can't wait to take it off. It's gonna be so cool. I'm excited.
How long did they say we needed to keep the plastic on?
Just a couple of days. Yeah. Oh, big shadow. All right, here we go. So look at that. So I don't know if you can see it. That's the black. You can see it's really like all of the little pieces have their own little holes in them because it's like that really porous material. What is going on here?
Cat's probably going to crap in it.
And then this is the red, so you can kind of see the difference between the black.
It's kind of hard to tell.
It's hard to tell, but there's definitely like a color difference between the two. So
the dogs are probably going to mix them all up.
yeah, it's really pretty, but also it's really like dirty. So we're gonna have to make sure that we have good masks when we're working with it, because there is, even though it's a non-toxic material, that dust is not good for you.
It's kind of like breathing in glass dust.
Yes, it's bad. So
What is that thing that you get with your lungs? Like, is it called like silicosis or
something like that? Yeah, yeah. So yeah, we have a bunch more materials we need to get. We were just, like we said earlier, we were talking with Guru Das, trying to make a parts list to make sure that we have everything here on site. We're ready to go, you know, when people start showing up.
We'll even have a camp kitchen set up. We're gonna have a porta potty. Did we already talk about this? Outdoor shower for guests.
Yeah, outdoor shower, porta potty. So if you have an RV, you know, you shouldn't need to really use your tanks. You know, we need everybody to be self-contained because our septic is not made for like 20 RVs.
We don't want anything on the ground.
Yeah. Do you think, is Adelaide in here?
I think she's inside.
She's going to be mad if we come in.
No, she's not gonna.
All right.
But we can first see the first kid.
Okay, we're going to look at the first baby goats that were born on our anniversary.
Look how cute. Now, these goats also need good homes. So right now we have 4 boys and 2 girls. This is the little boy that's the cutest. And they are also friendly. Look at his face. He's just the cutest. And then, can you see the other 2? The littlest one's a girl. This one's a girl.
Do you think they're like twins?
The boy and girl that look the same are always together. These 2.
They like sleep together.
Yeah,
and
it's
stuff.
adorable.
It's really
I mean,
cute.
they're triplets, so.
Yeah, I know.
But they are.
They're like
together.
linked somehow. Yes.
Do you want to go see the babies?
Sure. I'm wondering how our connection's going to be inside the container. Hopefully it'll be okay.
Can't leave it open. You're gonna have to close it behind you.
Here, I'm going to take this.
There's Mama Goat and this little girl. Am I showing it? I can't tell.
Yeah, you got it.
Here.
Where's the other ones?
Injured cat. They're over here. So, this is the little girl. She's now 1 day old. That's so cute.
That's so cute.
And then, you're okay. You're okay, Mama.
She's
This
not
one
happy.
is adorable. Look at the coloring on this one. She looks a lot like the mom. Mostly white. With some black and brown. Her face is so cute. Look at all those spots. Oh no, this is the boy. Sorry. Boy. And then this is another boy. You can take him, Ada. Ta-da!
Oh my goodness.
They're so stinking cute. Look at those lips. That was good. Good job.
Good job, buddy.
Okay, let's get out of here because they're
All right.
busy.
The girls are busy doing stuff, so we're gonna get out of here.
So don't put your goats out. Okay. Oh, want to wrap it up?
Yeah, I think we had a few more
Oh
questions.
my gosh, I'm covered in straw.
Whoa, where did that come from?
Oh, Adelaide.
I guess one of our kids found a jawbone.
Yeah, it's a cow mandible.
What is... Okay, let me see if we have any more questions before we jump off here. You want to hold this? I feel like we're like staring into the sun.
Yeah,
It's
can
so
we
bright.
turn?
Yeah,
Turn this
let's
way.
turn. Oh, man.
So we can actually see.
Okay, here we go. So, let's see.
You know, I can't hold this the whole time. Do you want to set it up on the tank? That'd be a great spot.
Near the mandible?
Yeah. Mandible?
Here, just put it on that. Yeah.
Jawbone.
You can put it up.
Ugh, it's so gross. I'll go to the other one. Here we go. Oh, but that's the sun. You're going to have to come on this side.
It's like the perfect height.
Okay, come on this side.
All right, sweet.
Okay, real quick. Is there any other questions?
Yeah, any more questions before we jump off here? Someone asked if you could chink with the Lavacrete. Not really. We talked a little bit earlier about how it's not really a plaster. It's really a wall building material. You need forms. You need it to be pretty thick, like 4 inches minimum. So it's not really made for that, unfortunately. Yep. Somebody said it looks like Nerds candy. It does.
No.
It wouldn't
it's
be
about
very
that same
tasty though, I
size.
can tell you that. So let's see. Yes, the baby goats are adorable. Agreed.
They all need homes, so if you need a goat, let me know.
Yeah. Could you make a Lavacrete dome? If you could build the formwork for it, yes.
You'd still have to have like the rebar in the.
It's the kind of rebar,
Shape
and
of
you'd
it.
have to curve all of your plywood.
Oh yeah, that would be a nightmare.
I mean, it's possible. It would just be difficult.
I wonder if you could do it kind of like how they do
Like
aircrete.
cement. Yeah.
like aircrete, because sometimes they like blow up a form and then they still put the rebar over that form, and then I don't know, because you need to get it from both sides,
Right.
you know. So I don't know if that would work.
Yep.
Don't know enough.
It's new, guys. It's new. We're working on
Those
it.
are questions for Paul and
Yeah.
Guru.
Let's see. Oh, I think. What? Seeing baby goats is a must.
No. Let me see. Thank you.
Oh,
What is that?
Maureen, thank you
Oh,
so much
Thank
for
you.
the tip. Or I don't even know what YouTube calls it.
I don't know,
I don't know, but thank you.
but thank you. Oh, we could also talk about how Thursday you and I are going to the Lavacrete work site in Tucson to
Right.
help.
Like you guys saw in that video, Gurudas is building a custom house out of Lavacrete
It's really
right
cool.
now. And so we're going to go help him for a day just to kind of get some experience. We have a lot of forms we need to build, so we really need to
Get eyes on
really look at it. Like we looked at it a little bit, but I think now that we're past like the filming stage where we were just learning about it, now we need to get into like this super nerdy, like here's how you cut and build and like attach the
Yeah,
forms.
it has to be made in a way that you can easily take them out. So they're built slightly different than how we typically build our farms. So
Right.
it'll be
Yes.
new. It'll be fun to like learn a new way to do it.
Yeah, so that'll be fun. We'll get some hands-on experience. We'll get to see the progress, because I think when I visited the first day and filmed that video, they were literally pouring the first part of the wall. So I'm excited to see how far up they are so far. He's got a whole crew out there working, so it should be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Anything else?
I don't know how to say that name.
I don't know. Someone sent us
A Tindor.
It looks like a fox. It's crying, laughing,
I don't know.
dancing.
But thank you.
Thank you.
Oh man.
Oh,
All right.
man.
So there's a lot coming up, but we're excited about all of it. It's going to be really fun.
Yeah, and just one more time, we have our what?
Sorry, I have one important thing. We were just, when we were on the phone with Guru Das, sorry, before this, we were looking at the locations of where everybody is coming for this workshop. So what's interesting is there's one person from Arizona that's coming. Guys, come on. We have to get more people from Arizona
We've
coming
got
to
people
this.
from Hawaii.
We
from
have 3 people from Hawaii coming. We have New York,
Wisconsin,
Pennsylvania, New York, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island.
Yeah, all
yeah.
over the place.
California, Utah, Colorado.
Yeah.
Like all over. But like we have one person from Arizona. We need some more people from Arizona. That would be
It's a
so
short
nice.
drive, guys. We're in southern Arizona. It's pretty easy to get to. We're like an hour and a half from Tucson. And so, yeah, like again, I don't think that anyone else is, number one, doing this besides Guru Das and Paul, and number two, they're definitely not teaching it. And so this is...
that's not true. Guru Das does do little workshops at his place, but not like a full building.
Right. What I'm trying to say is that like the full experience of building something from start to finish, that is not available anywhere else. And I don't know if we're going to do it again. Yeah, now that we know of. And I don't know that we're going to be doing another Lavacrete workshop anytime soon.
Probably not anytime soon.
Right. Unless it's something very small like a wall or like a feature or like a, I don't know, but definitely not like a building with all the forms and foundation and all that stuff. So this is really like, this is it. Like this is the opportunity, especially if you live in this area and you want to see how this is built and get hands-on experience. This is going to be like the opportunity to come do it. So
maybe we'll talk Guru Das into doing like a workshop for someone else, like another build, but as of now, there's nothing else lined up.
No other plan. We're just trying to make it through this one, guys. Like this is a huge, I know it's a small building, but it's so much work and it's so many materials and it's complicated and we have so many people involved. It's a lot of planning. Yeah, it's a lot of planning. And so you should come. You should come check it out. Like I said, not really a lot of other opportunities to get this kind of experience.
Yeah.
So,
and hopefully we have a little couple side quests while people are here, because we need to make it more fun,
We do.
Yeah.
We do. Okay.
We'll have like all the spare time in the evenings that we can do something together.
So much free time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Is that it?
That's it. Friends, thank you so much for hanging out with us. We hope we'll see you at an event. Otherwise, we'll see you in the next video.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye.